Welcome to What Do You Say, the podcast that peels back the layers of remarkable individuals to reveal their extraordinary sides and their incredible lives. I'm your host, Frank Termini, and I'm absolutely thrilled to embark on this journey with you. The podcast name's What Do You Say, but that's not how it's said.
How do you say it?
We say.
What do you say?
We say.
What do you say?
We say.
What do you say?
You got it. We say.
Hey.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to What Do You Say? My name's Andrew Termini. With me, as always, is my brother and your host, Frank Termini. Please go out there, like, subscribe, leave us a review, and remember to turn on those notifications so you can be updated every time I upload some new content. Gosh, do I beg and dream of a day where the internet overlords don't make us pander for likes and notifications. If they can just recognize good content and then just give it to people.
As opposed to someone clicking the button?
Yeah, because they measure you on likes. That's how you get moved up in the algorithm.
Really?
Uh-huh. Yeah. So, like, you know, that's why we say out every week.
I long for the day where we get it. I want to get someone on that we don't even have to introduce. Everyone just knows them.
Yeah.
Someone that popular.
Yeah.
Right?
I think we could probably do that.
Eventually.
I have a few people in mind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, today
we got a great story.
I'm excited.
I'm excited too. A great story. And
because I remember when she was born, the family panic.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I remember the panic in the family, like, oh my God, she can't hear, she's deaf, blah, 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 blah. I mean, you know, I remember, because so let's see, you were born, she's a year older. So
should we get the name? Let's do that, Frank.
I don't even know my name yet.
Yeah.
And stop referring to her as she and her. And the third person. So we got Giuliana Siraguso, who is...
But
okay.
Yeah. Well, that's all we get. A lot of because it's not considered a sport, so they don't give us.
Okay, so I just can't even wrap my head around, because I'll tell you right now, because she was born hearing impaired, and then danced your entire life. But I actually rehabbed her. Her freshman year in high school, made the varsity dance team at Liberty High School. Very first dance. Week 1 football game, tears her ACL.
Oh, man.
And so I rehabbed her. Where the hell was I going with this?
I don't know, Frank. Where are you going?
So while I'm rehabbing her, I have some of the football players in the off season working out, and I had her work out with the football players, and she's more athletic than any of them.
See, and that's
I mean, the fact, I mean, I would love to hear the argument that dance is not a sport.
I could talk about it forever. And it's like, we don't do, yes, we're not doing 300 push-ups, but we do a different type of training that's so,
hold on, that spotter, what do they call them, a base? Those cheerleaders?
Yeah, a base.
Them dudes, one guy lifting up them girls, I mean, that dude's as strong as anyone.
I've watched, I mean, maybe I shouldn't say this publicly, but I have watched the cheer show on Netflix because it was just athletically impressive.
So Gianna,
I didn't dive into the plot too much.
Gianna did cheer for a while. I'm so glad she didn't do it anymore because I hated it. And but cheer and dance is totally different. You're a dancer, so we have to make sure we distinguish.
So the difference. Go ahead and let's define the difference for those who don't know.
Cheerleaders don't dance.
Cheerleaders don't dance.
No, there's no dancing in cheer.
So cheerleading is more tumbling and...
Yeah, but they tumble and flip and all that shit.
So there's actually I would say that there's 2 different types of dance. So there's the art form. Mm-hmm. So people who go to New York and it's ballet and it's beautiful to watch. Mm-hmm. And then there's the more athletic side of it, which is when we're competing nationally, the dance team when we go for high schools. I would say that that's more sporty, but the training's all the same, and we're training to be an athlete. Yeah. But cheer is the same. I would consider cheer a sport as well, but cheer is more. They just have one routine a year. They go out and they're stunting, so they're lifting people, throwing people in the air, and flipping.
Okay.
Ours is entertainment, which cheer is entertainment too. But ours is like we're telling a story, and it's like you're watching a story unfold on stage.
And are there different styles of dance integrated into each and every routine that you guys kind of do?
Yeah. So I grew up training at Priscilla and Dana School of Dance, and they train you for every style of dance. So I did tap, jazz, ballet, contemporary, modern. Like
I used to love watching modern. Like when Nina danced, that was it's tranquil to watch it.
Yeah.
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 It's just kind of like you take
Very flow kind of driven
for
music,
sure.
really body integrated with music.
It's really it's tranquil to watch.
Yeah.
For me. But I also like watching hip hop. You know, that Angelina Glorioso, I love watching her. She's unbelievable.
yeah, and she's in LA right now.
Yeah. Yeah. She's really, really good.
You know, one of the best to ever do it was rest in peace, Twitch. That guy was legit.
I met him once.
Yeah.
Right. But could he do all different types of styles
He
of dance?
won, I think so. You think he can dance?
Yeah, I think so. He was a really good hip hopper though. That was like his
That was
thing.
his thing.
Yeah.
I enjoy watching that too, the hip hop stuff. You know, but it's all derivative of Michael Jackson now. What is? You can,
All dance stems from a derivative of Michael Jackson.
well, all hip hop does. Can you? I mean, what
Yeah.
did you say?
I mean, there's like different. Also, it's like hard to explain because each style of dance also has like different. Like there's this type of hip hop and like there's girly hip hop, and then there's like boy hip hop. So there's like you could be on your head and spinning,
Right.
or you could be like shaking your butt. Like there's two different. Like you know what I'm saying. So it's kind of hard to explain until
But
like
like all the like if you look at Bruno Mars or Usher or who else? Justin Bieber, not Justin
No,
Bieber,
Timberlake.
Timberlake. If you watch any of them guys dance, all their moves are derivatives of Michael Jackson.
No, he's been one of the biggest influences on dance since he came. The years have all been influenced by him. I mean,
That's probably like what 84, 1984.
I mean,
since the moonwalk.
I mean, even the Jackson 5 got down. You know,
Not like the solo
No,
Michael Jackson.
No, solo MJ.
I mean, I remember I think it was at the MTV Music Awards when he first did the moonwalk on TV.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it was just like the biggest thing. It was huge.
I don't know how. So I had an opportunity when I was maybe 9 or 10 to go to a Michael Jackson concert. My dad
What's
said,
bad?
yeah,
We were at Kemper Arena.
yeah, and somehow Dad sold me on the opportunity to go have dinner with him. And I
You didn't go.
I didn't go because Francine brought a friend. Yeah, so I missed.
You didn't go. Oh, Drew, it was badass.
Yeah, I heard.
It was. I mean, no pun intended.
No,
'cause
it was the
it
bad
wasn't
album.
Thriller. It was the bad show.
And if you remember, Nani got us all the actual leather jackets.
yes,
with
the black
zippers.
ones. They were black.
Black and red. There was somebody got a red one, and they were. I wish we still had them. They were legit.
Yeah, she got us the glove.
The glove, the leather jacket, and that was actual leather. I mean, it was something.
Yeah, I wonder if she actually had them made.
I don't think so, Frank. Those. I mean, those are pretty well put together.
Remember Uncle Jimmy used to say Michael Jackson's coming over to eat with us? And I swear to God, he would tell us Michael Jackson's coming over to eat with us on like holidays and shit. And some guy from the store would just show up.
Yeah.
And we were all sitting there waiting for Michael Jackson.
I ain't Michael Jackson. He's a candy.
Oh my God. So
almost all of my solos that I did, like just when it's just me on stage, almost all of them that I did were to a Michael Jackson or Janet Jackson song.
Yeah.
really?
Yeah, I don't know. My mom just loved it, and I was like,
So your mom picked the song.
well, it's like the teacher and the mom and you can all
So it's a
decide.
collective effort.
It's a collective effort.
So basically, Carol Jo picked
Yeah,
the song,
'cause she-
right?
yeah,
Yeah,
she
because
does
she's
it.
an alpha
Yeah.
for sure. She made it think everyone else think it was their idea, but it was
That's what a
definitely.
good alpha does.
So so how bad was the hearing? Because I know they diagnosed it when you were a baby.
Mm-hmm.
How bad was it?
Okay, so what's interesting about that is actually when I was in my mom's stomach, so I'm not even born yet, they told my mom that I was gonna not be able to see, hear, walk, like all types
Oh
of
yeah, it was panicky. It was bad.
And so
Man.
when I came out and was able to do those things, like,
There was a little bit of a sigh of relief.
Yeah.
Yeah.
but I am
What was the indications that would even say those things?
In utero. Yeah, I don't remember.
there was like some of it in the utero and some of it out. They did test, and I don't know.
Yeah.
I have no idea.
That's amazing. Okay.
But I'm 95% deaf in one ear and 97 in the other. So I have 3% hearing in one ear and 5% in the other. And I have 2 different types of hearing loss. So I have auditory spectrum disorder and I have sensory hearing loss. And they're both completely different. So sensory hearing loss is just, I can't hear, plain and simple. And then auditory spectrum disorder is once I hear the sound, it has difficulty traveling to my brain and telling me like what you're saying. So like sometimes like I'll just hear a sound and not the word. That makes sense.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So like it's taken a lot of practice over the years to like pick up on like people's sentences. Like sometimes if like someone's talking too fast, I'm like, whoa, I didn't get any of that. You know what I'm saying? Even if I hear them. And then also there was like all sorts of issues. Also my ear canal is really tiny, like extremely tiny. It's like a certain, I can't think of the name of what it's called, but it's extremely tiny. And I had to get like 8 surgeries.
I remember that. Yeah. Surgery
So,
after surgery after surgery.
Yeah. So, and it like caused ear infections and like it made it difficult to find hearing aids and like all this stuff. So
we should probably tell the audience that her grandfather and us are first cousins.
Yes.
So this way they know why I knew the hearing loss was bad, but I didn't know like the medically the ins and outs of it.
yeah.
Right.
I just remember, like here, because Giorgio was born right after.
Yeah.
And then you had her with her problem, Giorgio with the hand, and then every time Nani would look at him, she would cry.
Yeah.
Both of them. And I remember either Dad and Uncle Jimmy like telling Nani, "You cannot cry every time you see this baby." She literally would grab her or Giorgio, one of the two, and just start crying every time she held him. Every single time. It was. Do you remember Nana T?
Yeah. A little bit, not really.
What year were you born?
I like remember videos for her, but I don't remember her 2006.
So you were only 2.
Yeah.
Nani died in 08.
Yeah.
I see videos of her all the time, but
Nani died October 21st, 2008. I'm almost positive I'm exactly right on the date too.
About 90% sure, huh?
I'm 100% sure.
Okay. All right.
I'm
There will be people listening.
You could look up the obituary of Frances Termini, 10/21/2008.
Okay. That's good.
Yeah. I'm 100% positive. Anyway, so I remember, so the surgeries, and how old were you when you realized something wasn't right?
well, I realized pretty quickly because when I got my hearing aids, it like makes a like, and you know when you're like switching between radio stations, like the like
Static?
Yeah.
Got it.
That sound is how my hearing aids sound in my ears. So I'm always constantly hearing that sound.
Even now?
Well, like, yeah, right now, always.
Okay.
And it's like it gives me a lot of headaches. It's horrible. But anyways, as a kid, I'm not understanding like what that is. So I used to like pull out my eyelashes and like pull my hair out because it would just
Drive you crazy.
Yeah, drive me crazy. And my mom was just telling me a story. One time we were like driving down North Oak and the windows were down and I just took them out and I threw them out the window.
I could see. I could see where that would do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
is this neurological related?
so parts of it is like stemming from my brain.
Okay.
So there's no like cure, like it's not going to get fixed. And some people have
Have you heard of Neuralink?
no.
So Neuralink is a chip that is inserted into your brain for issues like hearing loss, for people with
Sounds like an Elon Musk deal.
it is actually Elon Musk's invention. It's flimsy and it just like a piece of paper, and then they insert the electrodes into your brain and program your neural pathways so that you overlook the regular neural pathways for hearing or for sight and for other things like associated with that. And it actually it's allowed some people who are paraplegic or quadriplegic to control their mobile device or their computer by virtue of thought, because it's Bluetooth related.
Oh, that's crazy.
It's very crazy, but
Well, here, Elon Musk does have some stuff that he's talked about, and I think that guy could potentially come up with something to cure stroke and spinal cord injury.
Frank, I'm telling you right now, but what he's working on is groundbreaking.
I mean, it's unnerving a little bit.
Because if you think of the brain as a computer, it's all sending electrical pulses to the right, body extremity to activate it. So if you can bypass the ones that are so-called damaged and reprogram the brain, those electrodes will fire, and those people have access to those.
I mean, it's
faculties.
It's crazy.
Wait, so
Yeah.
if I put that piece of paper or whatever it was in my brain, I could hear? Send it to me.
Yeah. I will also.
I can't imagine.
It's probably like $2 million.
No,
there
that ain't going to be that. But I guarantee there ain't anything out there for hearing that Carol Jo don't know about.
Yeah, she.
I don't know. This is kind of
And Carol Jo's her mother for the audience.
This is cutting edge, and they've only had 2 patients so far, and so I believe in the next year or 2, it's going to roll out and be more common that people are going to be getting these installed. And so it's very well possible that maybe she hasn't, or maybe she's caught a little wind of it and hadn't seen the developments of it. But it's impressive, Frank. It is really impressive.
Yeah, that Elon Musk is something.
Yeah,
he ain't worth all that money for nothing. He's brilliant.
Some people get cochlear implants. Do you know what those are?
So Sal Ray's son got cochlear implants.
Explain what those are.
It's like a device, and it connects to like the back of your head.
Mm-hmm.
And like most hearing impaired people you come across will have a cochlear implant. But my like 2 different types of hearing loss, it wouldn't work for me.
It wouldn't work for you.
No. Sal, you remember Sal Ray?
Yeah.
I've been training his son, who's actually like super athletic.
Sal was pretty athletic, wasn't he?
No, not even close to being close.
He rolled dice real well.
But he has a cochlear implant. It's just you can't even really tell unless you look really close. It's like a little black thing just right at the back of his head.
Yeah.
And his hair just goes over it. You can barely even see it.
Yeah.
But
this is non-protruding. It's actually, they actually cut open a piece of your head, and they install it, and they kind of wire it into your head. So I'll send it to you. Yeah.
Send it over. That's interesting.
So I'm interested. Go ahead. Do you have a question?
Go ahead. You knock your lights out.
Okay. I'm really interested on, so we've talked about when you've recognized that you had a deficiency. When you started dancing, what brought that about, and how did you start to overcome those challenges?
Yeah, how old were you when you started dancing?
3.
Really?
Yeah.
You were that young?
Yes.
Wow.
My mom just said I was always dancing. And so she was like, let's put her in dance class and see what happens.
Yeah.
And I'm still like, if you run into me like a grocery store, I'm just dancing. I just love dancing.
Yeah.
And so she put me in a class, and the first issue we kind of came across was like, it was too loud. Because if things like fireworks, like anything that's too loud, it like hurts.
Oh, here, listen. When I was a kid, I had the most sound sensitive ears ever. Now I can't hear. I love it. It's great. My wife wants me to get hearing aids. I refuse. Half the dumb shit people say I don't want to hear anyway, so I'm not doing it.
Yeah, and that always can be a great excuse, especially when you get married. Your husband, tells you something 3 or 4 times, like, well, babe, I can't hear the frequency of your voice.
But no,
my mom's yelling at me. I just turn them off.
Yeah. Ask your grandpa, ask your mom. I was the worst. So where we used to go on the 4th of July, Uncle Frank's house was on Chelsea. Right behind Chelsea was Van Brunt. Just to the west of Chelsea was 1 block over was Van Brunt, which was a war zone. It is the worst place to be for anybody who hates fireworks. Literally, imagine that. It was like Vietnam. And I would sit downstairs in the basement all day long. Hated it.
They blew up a Cadillac one year.
You?
No. Do not put that on me. I actually would claim that, because that's kind of a cool story, but I can't even claim that.
I thought it was you and Sammy Pig, and the pipe tipped over.
No. I mean, that did happen, but I don't believe that was the incident. I can't really take claim to that. maybe here, I don't want to let the truth get in the way of a good story. So yeah, I blew up a Cadillac when I was 12.
But I remember the pipe tipping over and the mortar shooting under the damn car.
I remember it too. Yeah.
I thought that was you.
I don't think so.
Okay. Well, it doesn't matter. But yeah, so I can empathize with sound sensitive ears. And even to this day at 45 years old, I despise that holiday. Hate it, hate it, hate it. I mean, I could tolerate it now. Back then I couldn't.
Yeah.
Can
Well,
you
I
not-
love it because I don't hear it. I just see it.
Yeah, that's
Right,
nice.
right. Yeah. Yeah. That you got the best of it then. So
We were talking about, so you started dancing at 3.
Yeah. So I started dancing, and that was the first issue. And then I got over that. And because it's like with all, like even just people's voices, once I get used to it, it's easier. Like all of my friends, I have like, they forget because I'm so used to the frequency of their voice that it gets easier to pick up on. And so then when things are loud, if I hear it enough, then it like, I start to get used to it. So I got over that. And then we had the problem of the teacher. The teacher's not looking at me. How am I supposed to know what they're saying? And the same problem in school. And also, so I learned to read people's lips. And so I needed to like, I would just tell my teacher, I need you to look at me when you're talking to me. And then I was fine. And then also like we always have mirrors in front of us. So whenever they're looking in the mirror, I was able to like look in the mirror and look at their faces and figure out what they're saying. And also just like not being able to hear you, like pick up people's body language and people like just what they're going to say. Like I could like guess something like
body language will tell you more than anything that comes out
Yeah.
of their mouth.
Yeah.
I agree. Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
so like
So that makes you in tune with a lot of
A lot of shit.
yeah, I'm
yes.
very good at people reading and like
Yeah.
Well, and you got to figure when you lose one sense, the other ones become heightened, right?
Sure.
So
Yeah.
that makes sense.
Yeah.
That you would be able to do that really well.
Yeah, and then when I started to compete, I needed to stay, like when you're dancing, a big part of like dancing in a group is staying on the same count as everybody else. Like you're all supposed to look the same. And I can't hear the music. So I used to have to like, I remember this folder I had at home and I hated every time my mom brought out the folder and she would print out the lyrics of like all of the songs and I would sit there and learn them, like study the lyrics. And then I would just have to like figure it out. And the music, anytime I'm dancing,
Wait, what does you knowing the lyrics help? How does that help you?
because I can't hear when the music's going, so I have to learn, I have to do this move on this word, this move on this word.
But how does it matter if you can't hear the words? What's that do?
I don't know, she just made me do it. And also like the teachers would like quiz us. They'd be like, when the song says boom, what move are you doing?
Really?
So I always wanted to be the same. So whenever they did that, I'd want to like, and also we have to like know the counts. So I would learn the counts, learn the lyrics, and the speaker being on the stage, the speakers, we always have speakers when we're dancing. It's on the stage and it's on in like our dance rooms. And when you put your hand on like the top of a speaker,
You could feel it vibrate.
feel it vibrating. So it does that like through the 4. And that's how I would like, okay, the music's starting. And then I would just count 1, 2.
So her
3,
sight
4.
and her touch.
Because any frequency below 20 hertz, the average human ear with great hearing can't hear, but they can feel it.
Yeah.
So you had to be really mathematically in tune with vibration and words,
Yeah.
plus counting, in order to be on.
Yeah.
But what has to be even crazier is what if that vibration moved through the floor differently at school than it did when she was on stage?
Absolutely.
So you would have to have practiced on stage prior to doing an actual routine.
Well, the thing about the lyrics is that I could sometimes hear the lyrics because they were loud enough. Like when you're listening to a song, the backbeat is usually lower than what they're saying.
yeah.
Okay.
So it was just like to be the backbeat that I couldn't hear, and I didn't know like when to start or what count. Because like a lot of time when you're dancing, it's like boom, and then you move on boom. Like you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
So that was like most of the time, since it is so loud for everyone in the audience to hear, I could hear the lyrics. It was just everything else, like the backbeat and all of that I couldn't hear. But
So you knew what move you were doing based on the lyric to the song.
yeah.
Now, in dancing in high school, they don't have.
Yeah, because
speakers
how are
on
you
the
going to feel
stage,
that? You're on a
and they're in like an auditorium, which it's echoey,
Oh, what about on a football field?
or on a football field. How do you overcome that?
This is actually interesting. So when we're dancing, it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then you repeat. Like everything is 1, 2, 3, 4, and you do like that's just how we learn the dances. They teach it to counts. I think it's called counting.
Yeah.
And so,
So everything's 2 count. 1, 2, 3, 4.
well, depends. Sometimes some songs are faster. So it could be like 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5, 6, 7,
Oh,
8.
shit.
And
Yeah,
then
right.
some are like 1, 2, 3, whatever. And when it came to like a football field,
Yeah.
I don't hear a thing. So what would happen was the music would start and someone next to me would go. And then I would just start counting and hope.
Oh my.
Yeah.
Oh my.
So like, I know that when we learned it, they said that this move goes on 1. So I'm counting. I'm like 1 and then I do it. And then it's just,
And here, her coach, I actually know her husband. I trained jiu-jitsu with her husband, Coach Willis.
yes.
Yeah, and her husband's named Bob Willis. He's a jiu-jitsu black belt. And I mean, that Liberty High School dance team is legit. I mean, that is, it's known for that. She went to Liberty for that.
Yeah.
Natty champs.
Huh?
Natty champs.
Yeah.
Nice.
I mean, so that is a really, really good.
It's a
dance
prestigious program.
Yes. Yes.
And people go there for that because of that.
Yeah. A lot of it. Yeah,
Because they go there and they win.
that's what they do. They
Yeah.
just win. So, you had to be, I mean, there's no, and you guys won state, didn't you? Your senior year? Did you win your junior year too?
All 4 years.
All 4 years.
Champs. She got more titles than us, buddy.
She could have had one.
Yeah.
So, I just can't even fathom being able to do that. And because here, there's zero room for error.
No, there's no room for error.
I mean, it's not like basketball or football where you make a wrong step, you can get yourself out of it. You don't get that luxury in dance.
I'm assuming that you've developed a ability, if you were off, on how to catch up quickly.
Yeah. Well, you just
True.
have to.
You don't win state championships by being off.
No, that's true.
If she was off that much, they would have lost.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's zero room for error.
No.
We like got second at nationals by like, I think it was like 0.12 of a point, like not even a full point.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
So
So it's like little things, like if your finger is out of place. So I like, obviously that's a lot of pressure for anybody, but just I knew, and like counting and being on time is like such a big part in dance. And so I just, if I would just watch, and if I could tell, I don't know, I just did it enough. Like, especially everyone training for dance, for one dance, they're going to do it like 2,000 times. And then I would go home and do it again. So like, you know, I just had to like work twice as hard. Everything that everybody else did once, I did 2 times. They did it 4 times. I did it 8 times. Cause I just was like, I'm not going to be the one to make it
Yeah.
so that everyone else loses. Cause it's a team of 13 people. If I mess up, then everybody else suffers.
Right.
So I'm not going to be that person. So I just,
Your internal metronome has got to be just on point.
I mean, are you kidding me?
I mean,
Well, but here, I mean, so you're talking about there's so much going into it, not just, you know, a lot of athleticism, hyper athleticism, you know. I mean, you know, that's like,
I don't want to overshoot the idea of what she just said, though, and the power in what she just said about, because everybody else had to do something twice, she did it 4 times.
right, work ethic.
The worth ethic piece
Yeah,
of that is
100%.
very impressive.
Well, and it's, what's the other, I mean, just basically probably very stubborn person.
yeah.
Yeah.
What makes you think that?
I mean, yeah.
Not because of who your parents are, but just kind of your bloodline. I've known a few relatives of yours that are a little stubborn. So,
Well, Carol Jo may be the worst
I mean,
from stubborn standpoint.
I judge not. I judge not.
I mean, like my mom and my dad, and even my brother and my sister, they always, like, they didn't treat me differently. And I think that's like such a huge part of who I am. Like, they didn't give me slack ever.
You actually got to be harder on you.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I remember one time with Giorgio, he was staying over our house, and I was like, I was having him help me bring the groceries in, and I said, grab this, and I'm not paying attention. You forget he has one hand.
Wait, did you forget on what day was it? Where it wasn't the 4th of July because you were out of town and I was out of town. Did you forget when you tried to put the bed frame together with him and you had one hand?
Right. He put the bed together.
Yeah. Well, I ended up putting the bed together because both of you baboons couldn't figure it out.
Right.
Not that he wasn't capable of it.
He could do it with one hand better than I could with two.
That's 100% true.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah, for sure.
when it comes to tools, Frank's is continuously trying to put the square in the circle hole and putting things together.
I don't own them. I don't own a tool. I don't.
Not a proper
one.
tool set.
Not one tool. Don't even care. All right. So 3 years old. How old were you when you realized you had something special, though?
When I started winning. That sounded so cocky, but like.
Well, no.
Hey,
the bottom line is, you know, you win and you beat the best, and then you are the best.
Yeah.
I mean, so
I think like.
So when you say when you started winning, were there solo competitions that you did? Okay.
Yeah.
So there are group and solo dances.
Yes. So I would do, like, I remember when I was like 13, I did 13 dances and I thought it was so cool. I was doing the same amount of dances as my age, but it was like, I did 2 solos and then I did like a duo, which is with one other person. And then I would do like, which is hard because there's only one person to watch. So if I start to get off, I'm like, I like have to search for her. When it's a group of like 14 people, they're in front of me or next to me. So it's easier to like stay on.
Well, yeah, but sometimes in that group of 14 people, not everyone's doing the same thing.
Yeah. Yeah. But, you know.
So,
but yeah, so I would do a lot of group dances and then maybe 1 or 2 solos.
a lot of group dances, 1 or 2 solos. And then when you started winning solos and you realized, hey, I may have something here.
Yeah. And also like you have to re-audition every year and they put you in certain groups and some groups are better than others. And so like you would get in a group and honestly, like a lot of my confidence in dance came from like having such good dance teachers and
Listen,
there was like a lot of dance studios that would not take me.
Here, hats off to P&D. Here, not for nothing. Talk about a school that, I mean, is known for their dancing.
Yeah.
I mean, it's been around for probably 40 years.
Yeah, they've got a very good reputation.
that place, and to be able to figure out how to teach, that'd be like you trying to teach a blind kid how to play football. Would you even have an idea how to do it?
I don't think blind kids should play football.
Well, I'm just trying to make,
But
here, 18 years ago, you would have said, I don't think deaf kids should dance.
No, that's not true.
Oh, well, you're a jack off. You're full of shit. He's full of shit.
You just have to say that because I'm sitting right
no,
here.
would have said it.
Here's the reality.
I would have said it.
Here's the reality of it.
Let's play softball.
I understand. I understand music from playing instruments to being in production to DJing. I understand music, so that would not have gotten by me. Now, the blind kid in football, I would not know the first place on how to coach a blind kid on how to play football or how to do anything because I have, I can see. So you're
Right, but her coaches can hear.
No, I agree. I think that but the difference is the vibration of music versus, vibration can actually be felt. So there was, it's a little different, I think. I'm not discrediting the challenge that it takes to teach someone who can't hear because you have to really think outside the box. Mm-hmm. But with music, it's one of those things
what other techniques could they have used? What did they do? And they had to do a lot of one-on-one with you. Had to.
No.
You're kidding me.
I mean, I had one teacher who would whenever we would want to do a dance from the top, she would look at me and be like, this.
Yeah.
So, from the top, or she'll top her head.
Yeah.
So little things like that. There's some things, but I just learned to adapt. I mean.
How old were you when you could read lips?
When I was in preschool, I went to.
You started that early.
St. Joseph Institute of the Deaf, and yeah, so I went to St. Joseph Institute of the Deaf and normal preschool at St. Andrews, and I had someone come to my house and just teach me.
Yeah.
And my mom, it used to be because you know how I said earlier that they didn't know if I could talk. They used to when I was a kid, so preschool, they would put Cheerios in the middle of the table, and they couldn't give me the Cheerio unless I made a sound.
Okay.
So there's a lot of different things that they had to do to get
incentivize you.
Yeah.
Positive reinforcement.
Yeah.
I mean, genetically speaking, her Carol Jo was an excellent dancer.
Carol Jo was very athletic.
Yes.
And very strong and very explosive. Carol Jo was very athletic.
She could throw a punch too.
Yeah, she could. Yeah, for sure. She definitely could do that. But hold on, Dr. Vince was I think,
Football.
and baseball was even more baseball than football, if I remember correctly. But no, he was athletic too. And so, I mean, here, you should see Vincia. Vincia looks like she's 20.
Really?
Oh, she's 14 years old. She looks like she's 20. And she's a really good dancer. You know, so there's some clearly athleticism in the gene pool there.
Yes.
Right.
Now, when it comes to the types of different dance and music, we obviously know hip hop's got a more bass driven and it's going to give you a beat that you could feel. Now, is it contemporary that's a little bit more flowy?
Yeah. So contemporary is actually the hardest because some of the songs don't have words.
Right.
It's just like
that'll bury you.
classical.
Yeah.
And so that was like the hardest thing for me to get. And the good thing about that though is that you don't usually, that's like more mature. So I didn't do any of that until I was like, I don't know, 11.
You know, I was voted best dancer in the senior class in 1997.
I mean, Kit and Play, you had some shit, you know what I'm saying? The Running Man, like, that's a timeless dance too. I mean, Vanilla
Seriously.
Ice, you know, was,
I had hair.
yeah. We were a real specimen.
Oh my gosh.
So as you continue on through,
We got to put some video on.
okay, yeah, we can do that. Yeah, let's.
Where can we find video? Okay, so wait a
No,
second.
we're going to watch videos of me.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
We ain't going to watch videos of me and Andrew dance.
yeah.
So wait a second. So you tell me. So you said it earlier to me. How many different type of dances you were in? Shawn Mendes video.
Yeah. So all of this. Okay. So I'm trying to think. I did a music video with Shawn Mendes and Khalid. I don't know.
The DJ.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
Isn't that his name?
There's
K?
two
What's
different.
what's his name?
There's DJ Khalid and there's normal. There's just
Yes.
Khalid. And then
Oh gosh.
I
What
did-
are my nieces and nephews watching right now? Okay, I'm sorry I interrupted. Go ahead.
good. And then I did a show on Nickelodeon.
What was the one where the whole family went and you guys were all on TV?
This is the one. what I'm talking
Nickelodeon?
about. Yeah.
Okay.
Nickelodeon Lip Sync Battle Shorties. It was like a show. I was like the first episode, or like maybe the second, and then I don't even think it ended up like staying. Like I don't know if it's still around. I don't think it is, but it's just lip sync battle. If you've seen that, it's like when all the celebrities go in there,
Yeah.
but it's like a kid's version. So I did that, and then I went on Broadway. I did like 1 or 2 Broadway shows.
How did they find you for this type of stuff? Okay, so yeah, someone had to recruit you for Shawn Mendes. Someone had to recruit you for Nickelodeon, or is it the dancers or the coaches at P&D maybe have connections and say, "Hey, you need to come take a look at this girl."
So it's when you get good enough in like the dance industry, people start telling you need to get an agent. So my mom got me an agent,
Okay.
and then on there, obviously it says that I'm deaf, and so that's how the Nickelodeon people found me, just through my agency, and they were like, or not Nickelodeon, the Shawn Mendes, because the Shawn Mendes music video was like about all of these kids who are disabled and still do like what they do.
What's the name of the video?
Shawn Mendes. Wow, I should know this.
I think so. I think you should know it,
Yeah.
Giuliana.
It was so long ago. I'm trying to think of the name of the song. Just look up Shawn Mendes.
Okay, I'm on Shawn Mendes. I got that.
Khalid. Khalid. I could be fully saying it wrong.
No, that's right. It's
Yes. Youth. That was a song.
okay. Let's we'll pull that up.
Let's pull that up, and then I got lots more questions.
Okay, wait. Before you watch this, I gotta explain myself.
Okay.
Let's hear it.
This is some rough dancing you're about to see.
Why?
Let me tell you.
Okay.
Okay, so this is in New York. Okay, and they take us out in this huge boat, and it has this big stage on it. And actually, it wasn't that big, but like the stage on it was so big, and it was like the whole boat was the stage. So there was like nowhere to stand, and it was like rocking back and forth. My mom was freaking out, and I can see like all of this water. It was like the most terrifying thing ever. And you get up on this stage, and it's like if you fall down,
You're off the boat.
you're off the boat. So there's like 4 people standing on the ends, like with like
Scuba gear.
scuba gear on
Yeah.
in case I fall off.
So they could jump in after you. That's unnerving.
Yeah, my mom was freaking out, of course. But they had me standing on this, and it was moving. So like I couldn't I couldn't stand up.
How many people were dancing in the video with you?
No one else danced. I don't know what.
It was only you.
Yeah. But it's like different clips. You'll see. I'm like only in like 10 seconds of it. It's like different clips of people.
Of different people doing
Yeah.
different things.
Yes.
I got it.
Yeah. And they decided to put me on a boat. I was like, why would you put the dancer on?
So you were the only person on this boat then? The only dancer?
So it was like me, my mom, and then there was just a bunch of, there was the people in the scuba gear.
Yeah.
And then there was like the director and then the camera crew.
All right, I'm gonna try to pull it up.
But it was like they kept me under the boat. They kept me there, and they would have me come out, do it, and then go back in like over and over again because it was so dangerous to stay up there. And they were like, it was terrifying.
How old were you?
How old are you in like 6th grade?
12.
Yeah.
And you were already good enough to do that.
I mean, you're not going to think I'm very good when you watch this, but I mean, yeah.
So how does dance go? So like,
It's a 7-minute video.
Yeah, because I'm not in the whole thing. I'm trying to think. I wish I could tell
stumble
you.
through it till you find it.
Yeah, just
Drew.
skip until you.
What do you got to do?
And I was
Just do it.
so not cute.
I can do it.
It was like,
I lost what I was getting ready to ask you.
Were you dancing with the band there?
I remember. Okay. So in other sports, they categorize you by age.
yeah.
Did they do that in dance, or did you say, hey, this girl's good enough, she could dance with high school kids?
Well, it's like there's ages, like I think I'm going to say this wrong. It's like ages 13 through 15 and then ages 16 through 18.
Got it.
So there's like a 3-year range
Right.
because when we're competing, it's against the same age group. But it'll be like an average of age.
Did you ever compete up?
Yeah.
How old were you when you did that?
So like you're really technically only allowed to go up one because they average all of your ages together, and then that's what you compete in. So they don't want to put someone too young because then that brings the average age down. But I always danced a year older.
Always 1 year.
Like my studio, every studio is kind of different, but they like categorize you like sometimes it'll be by like letters. So group A is like the best group. Or it's
Right.
like colors, and group black is like the best group.
Right.
But
So let's talk while we're watching this video. Let's talk about how well you can talk.
yeah, so I did a lot of speech therapy, like literally up until like a couple years ago.
Really?
I had a really hard problem with like my R's and W's, and
So how would you
SNF.
pronounce your R's?
like I would just I'd say a W instead of an R. Like I would just
Frankie George does that.
yeah,
And he'll pronounce his L's like a Y.
interesting.
So like if he were to say let, he would say yet. Like here when he was a kid, it was the funniest thing because we were getting ready to go to his very first football practice. He was in pre-K and we were going to his very first football practice, and all of a sudden he ran upstairs and I go, "What are you doing?" He goes, "I'm going to get young socks, Dad. Football players wear young socks." And I said, "Okay, go get your young socks." And that's what he would do. You know. So like let was yet. Won't yet me, Dad. They won't yet me.
But
My mother thought that he had a hearing problem.
Mm-hmm.
And I kept saying, "Mom, he don't have a hearing problem. He's fine. He's fine," over and over again. And then what did she do? When she was babysitting, took him to the audiologist.
but I also just like couldn't hear myself well. So sometimes I don't know how loud I'm talking.
Well, yeah, sure. That would definitely be a problem.
Yeah. And also
So
just
how were you able to get your pitch and your volume? I mean, when you can't hear yourself,
I just do it.
practice.
Yeah.
Effort that it takes to speak, I suppose. And you might be able to hear feel the vibration of your vocal cords.
Yeah. And also like, I just, for the longest time, I would talk too loud. I would like yell. And then people would be like, quiet down, quiet down, quiet down. So then I just got used to like talking quieter. Like I feel like I'm whispering right now.
Right. I that makes sense.
Yeah.
That
But
makes
when I
sense.
take them off, I'm like always yelling. And my friends are like,
What, your hearing aids?
yeah.
You can't even see them though.
Well, I'm wearing headphones.
Well, I know. But even when you're not wearing headphones, are they like little wires?
No, they're like, I mean,
Or do they go on the back of your ear?
no, it's in my ear.
It goes in your ear.
Like earplugs
Really?
or like AirPods.
So let me ask you this. Can you play music through your hearing aids?
Yes. So that's like a recent thing though. I didn't get these Bluetooth hearing aids. They didn't make them until like 5 years ago. So I got them, not even, probably like 3 years ago. I got them last year. And I can listen to like music, YouTube videos, anything just through Bluetooth. But before that, like I couldn't, if I wanted to watch a Netflix show, I would just have to read it with those closed captions.
And that's what I do. I read them.
Yeah.
I could hear some of it. If there's any background noise, I'm done.
Yeah.
Like if I'm in a restaurant and there's background noise and you try to talk to me, it's over with.
Yeah. That's how I struggle with that too. And I also can't hear from behind. So like if I turn around, like I can hear you right now. Well, obviously, but if I took these off, I could hear you. But if I turn around, I would not be able to, I would have no idea what you're saying.
Right. Right.
Because it's like part of the brain issue that I have is that I can't hear from behind.
So was it difficult to get a college scholarship for dance when they knew you were hearing impaired?
They don't know. They still don't know.
And you don't know that you're hearing impaired? Are you kidding me right now?
I know. Probably should tell them.
You're kidding me right now. The coach didn't disclose that? So hold on.
Well, we had
on.
all this medical packet, but like it didn't ask in there. But like, yeah.
So wait a second. How many other schools did you have looking at you to dance?
So there's like different types. College dance is like really difficult because some teams only recruit, and then some teams you can just go and you try out. So MU, you can go and try out. And I thought about entering the recruitment process for a little bit, but all of those schools are super far, like South schools. And I was wanting to, like, I was really interested in like going to like LSU or Bama or Ole Miss, like all those schools out South. And then I just realized I wanted to be close to home.
Yeah.
So, and I want to be a journalist. And MU has like one of the best programs ever.
Denise Rurick did that. Well, Denise Spino now. She was a journalist at MU.
Yeah.
And now she's a bigwig on one of them shows. Well, it was GMA, but I don't know what it is now.
Yeah, and I also just like always loved the Golden Girls. That's what they're called. So I went and I tried out and I made the team.
Here, I'm an MU guy.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a KU guy.
That is not true. That is
What,
not
me?
true. I am not a KU guy. Why would anybody who was born and raised in Missouri root for the Jayhawks?
Yeah.
And I will
will
say
if they're
this.
not playing Mizzou.
Spencer Davis, I hope you're listening to this.
Yeah.
Johnny Davis, I hope you're listening to this. What's the deal with the Davis? The last name Davis. They're both KU fans, born and raised in Missouri.
Hold on, there's a lot of KU fans that are in Missouri.
They've had more fun celebrating national championships at MU, but I'm still an MU diehard.
You mean a KU?
I'm not a KU diehard.
No, you said they're the more national championships.
KU's had more national
Yeah.
championships. Yeah.
What was that basketball coach's name there that was really good? So,
Well, Frank, this video is not cooperating with us at all.
why not?
I don't know. I think it's your internet. So
Hold on. Give me 1 second. I got an idea.
Dance is, I guess you could say, like an escape for me. It's always made me happy and been a safe place.
When she dances, she glows, and it's a happy feeling for both of us.
She's a great performer. She has these strong legs and can jump and can flip and attack her movement.
It's taken a lot of hard work and time, but I don't know, I just love doing it and growing, and it teaches me so many life lessons as well. I was on a show called Lip Sync Battle Shorties.
What doesn't kill you makes you stronger. Stand a little taller. Doesn't mean I'm lonely when I'm alone.
I was also in a Shawn Mendes YouTube video. It was really cool. I was kind of nervous, but more excited because it's a pretty big deal. A lot of people would have seen it, so. I am 95% deaf since I was born.
She has auditory dysfrequency and neurological hearing loss. The little sound she does hear at the level she hears it to feel like it's in between radio stations, so it's somewhat fuzzy.
My hearing loss wouldn't be the first thing I would tell people about myself, because I believe that I'm like so much more than that. It's not all that I am, but it's definitely a part of me.
She's always had to work really, really hard to get what she wants, so she's just used to pushing through and being resilient to get those things.
One of the things about Giuliana is she doesn't use it as an excuse. It never has stopped her.
I definitely say it's probably harder for me, but I'm willing to put in more work if I have to. A big part of dancing is staying on time with the rest of the group. So for me to do that, I have to use the vibrations that like echo through the floor. That's how I stay on beat. Like I can feel it with my feet.
She has a natural talent that she's worked extremely hard to perfect.
I want to tear down like the stigma against hard of hearing and deaf children. One thing that really inspires me to like keep going is when my sister's friends or anyone younger tells me that they look up to me and that they watch me and stuff like that. Makes me really happy and inspires me to like continue doing what I'm doing.
I feel like she has the life skills she needs, and I think a lot of them came from dance to succeed no matter what comes of that.
She's a joy to teach. There's just no stopping this child. She, no matter what it takes, will figure out a way to get it done.
It's provided me with like a sense of confidence and made me feel very strong and resilient.
I think that what I'm most proud of is that she includes and loves everyone and always looks at the positive about things, even when it's hard for me to. The glass is 75% full for Giuliana all the time.
Jones and Fabi Link. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the floor your 12-time state champions and 3-time national champions, your Liberty Sapphires.
When you're getting recruited for dance, is it one of those things where your dance coach has to go to the college coach and say,
No, you have to travel out there.
you just go out there and try out?
So no, if you're getting recruited, they do these things called clinics in the summer, and you go out, you travel out there, and then you go to a clinic with like 100 other dancers, and you just hope they see you.
And you could go out there and they might not even put eyes on you at all.
It's one coach. How are they supposed to get eyes on everyone?
It's impossible.
Yeah.
That's absolutely ignorant that they're going to have that many kids with one coach to evaluate. That's absurd to me. So for you just went out there and tried out.
For MU, yeah. You just go up there. They had like clinics too, but just to help, just to like see. So she probably had her eyes on a couple of people just due to clinics, but you go out and you try. It's like a weekend. It's like 3 days, and you try out. And there's a prelims, and then people get cut, and then there's a final round.
So they cut people after the very first day,
Yeah.
and then you clearly. How many people do they keep?
I think there's like after the first round or
No, for the whole team.
it's like 29, 30, 28. I don't know.
So
But that's
how
also
many
all the returners?
When you went and tried out, how many spots were available?
Well, we were under the impression only 5, but they took 13 of us.
Really?
Yeah, because they cut some of the returners. So like some of
Really?
the girls who were already on the team got cut.
Oh, so you got to
Everybody
try out
retry
every year.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, which a lot of dance teams aren't like that. So like it's just different from each dance team whether you have to like try out again.
So you'll have to try out again next year.
Yeah. Plus, we're trying out. Trying out every time she sees me, I'm trying out.
So then, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So when are you going to disclose to them that you can't hear?
I'm going to. I've decided. I've decided that I'm going to. I'm actually leaving on Thursday to go back down there, and I'm gonna tell her. But to be honest, like I feel like I've worked my whole life to make it so that I'm just at the same level as everybody else.
So you don't want to tell them. You don't want her to even know.
I didn't want it to be like, oh, I don't want anyone to look at me and be like, oh, she's a good dancer for being deaf. I just want them to look at me and be like, she's good.
Yeah.
Period.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
I hear you. You know what? That is incredibly commendable. It says a lot about you as a person. And you don't want to be the one, yeah, she's good for a deaf girl. Fuck that.
Yeah, no.
She's just flat out good and
Yeah.
can dance.
So there's a couple videos here that I'm seeing.
Wait, go down.
Down.
Oh, I also did this famous YouTuber, which wouldn't matter. Even more down. Right there. He does even more. My mom used to post all my solos. Like, I'm literally 7 years old. Actually, maybe just look up lip sync battle shorties.
Okay.
Sorry.
Let's try
doing this
lip
to you.
sync.
And it was
How'd you do?
Oh, I didn't win. It was all contracts.
You know, you
someone only signed up. I probably should say that. There's a lot of weird stuff. The reason I could have kept doing this stuff for up until now, and there was just things that I saw and heard about that I was like, I don't think I can do this.
Really?
Yeah. I remember I think the moment where my mindset was was there's a certain number of hours that it's legal to have a kid work for. It's I don't know.
Like a child labor law?
Yeah, child labor laws. They would say, they would do the amount of hours that we were supposed to be rehearsing, however many hours it is. And they'd be like, okay, you can go and take a break, go to lunch or something. We were not at lunch.
Yeah.
We were still doing stuff.
Yeah.
So there was just things they were
shady. To you, it's shady. Yeah, no.
Yeah, shady. And I just was and now, did you see that documentary about all those kids getting assaulted? I'm and I remember just
Hold on, that's been going on for years. The two Corys, which you wouldn't remember, but a lot of our listeners probably do. Corey Haim and Corey Feldman, both of them were molested when they were young kids in Hollywood.
And not that I ever felt my mom kept me safe. Not that I ever felt I was in danger.
She's hyper cautious. Yeah, no, I get it.
I always felt safe, but and also it's almost when there's that many cameras on you, you feel you have to it just feels weird and feel you have to be super. I don't know. I don't know. I just wasn't a fan of how it felt. And
it's interesting that you were able to have that discernment at such a young age.
Yeah. And
that just says a lot too.
It was right after I did this, I did Broadway, and then I did that YouTube video with that famous YouTuber. And I kept getting all its attention. I would go to dance competitions and people would be asking to take pictures with me. I was and that's cool, whatever. And then right after that, they were doing this new Disney show, and they wanted me to come out and live out there in LA and be on this Disney show. And so my mom would have to move to LA with me, and then my siblings and my brother, my sister, and my dad would have to stay home. And I was like, I'm not doing that. And then after that, every single opportunity that came up, I was just like, no. And like even my mom and my brother was like, you can buy me like 3 cars. Like you need to do, like, he was like, they all were like, why are you throwing away these opportunities? And there's some things that I probably should have done, but I just was like,
How much money would you have made?
There's the sky's the limit. I mean,
yeah, look at these actors that have one popular movie and they're set.
Yeah, I know, right? God darn.
the sky's the limit. But there's just LA is a cesspool.
Yeah.
Is that Cameron? That one right there. That's on Giuliana.
Yeah, it's on. Okay. Yeah, that LA is a cesspool for that kind of stuff. And
what is it with these Hollywood big shots? And I just don't understand it.
I can't wrap my head around it either.
Think maybe like normal shit just gets boring to them. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
I don't. They start looking at children as a commodity because they're making money off of them.
Well,
so
I mean,
the first chance to take advantage of an innocent child for their own personal gain or to feed their guilty pleasure, they do it, and it's sick. It's sick because at the end of the day, money is the root of all evil, and when you have enough money, it becomes power. So
there's 100% money and power. There ain't no broke, powerful people.
no, and you don't start craving power until you have all the money you want. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's because it's like, okay, the money doesn't amuse me anymore, and this is what that's why Joe Rogan and a lot of actors have decided to move to Austin or other places in the United States.
California's just a bunch of fucking weirdos.
Yeah.
I mean, it really is. I wouldn't want to go to that state for it's just a bunch of libtards, just a bunch of idiots, and then the dummies. The state's freaking destitute. It costs God only knows how much money to live there. And then the idiots move to Texas and Arizona and vote the same way.
Yeah. I mean,
it's just retarded.
It's
just what it is. It's ignorance.
And it's like all of those all of those kids, like all the people, like Britney Spears, like I could name like tons of famous people who started the industry when they were kids.
Yeah.
And it's like they don't even know who they are anymore because they've been just putting on this persona for so long.
Well, yeah. I mean, here, when you're doing that before you find yourself, that's probably why a lot of them, all these young kids that are Hollywood superstars at a young age have a difficult time as they grow up.
And I'll be honest with you, I believe that the ones that make it through are probably grounded in their faith.
Well, probably not that.
Like a Justin Timberlake, who is a child star, but he's grounded in his faith.
Andrew, I think is JT a man of faith?
Yes.
Are you sure?
100%.
Mark Wahlberg.
Frank, he was raised in the South.
Oh, there you are. Yeah, he's definitely going to be here. Mark Wahlberg. He's a big time Catholic.
Yeah, I mean, and Mark Wahlberg used to on Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch. He danced around in his underwear at a basketball game.
Yeah, right. Why not?
Why not? And he came to the conclusion.
I wouldn't wear any shirt ever. If I
looked as good as he did.
No, I wouldn't own a shirt.
Yeah, but
so.
Yeah, so I was just 12 and 13, I would say, when I was doing this stuff. And I was like, I don't know who I am. I'm going to miss my sister and my brother. I'm going to miss my nanny. And I just was scared that I was going to go out there and like completely lose sense of like
who you are and where you came from.
Yeah.
I think
family is very important.
Yeah. And also like if I went out there
and
like
culture.
Started this Disney show, who knows how many seasons it would have gone on? Who knows? Like I could have been out there and then I probably would have never ended up coming back. And then I would have so I was just like, at first I was like, let me not do anything for a year and then go back to it. And then I just never went back to it because I was like, I just want to be a kid, like a normal kid. But I mean, there's some of me that's like, maybe I could have gone out there and been a movie star and like that would have been great and awesome and whatever. But I don't know. I feel like I've succeeded enough here and I don't regret it. I don't think.
Now, don't we have isn't Elena Abbott?
No, Joanna. She was a Golden Girl.
She was a Golden Girl too.
That's right. Yeah, she was a Golden Girl.
Yeah, she's helped me a lot. And like getting prepared and stuff.
I think she coaches at Pius now.
Yeah. So what's your routine?
But hold on, Elena is the
middle,
and then there's Joanna. No,
Joanna,
Angela,
Elena, and then Angela's the same age as my sister.
And I think Angela and Elena both dance too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Angela, and they're all P&Ds, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
So they P&D pumps out a good
product.
good quality dancers.
You ain't dancing at P&D if you're not any good. I mean, you may dance on a lower level team, but a competitive team at P&D, they're going to be legit.
Yeah.
And what's interesting about them, it's like my mom knew about them, and I think she might have danced there. But so like immediately when I said I wanted to dance, she thought there, but she didn't take me there because it's so hard. And so she took me to all these dance studios, and they were like, no, we're not equipped to handle someone who like not equipped to handle me because I couldn't hear.
Yeah.
And then Miss Dana and Miss Priscilla took me in, and I'm grateful for that.
So,
Yeah.
so in school, since let's speak about reading lips in school, it's typically a requirement for you to learn a second language. How does that work, and how challenging is that?
language?
Well, we had to take Spanish 1 and 2. I can't speak a lick of Spanish. Now I can understand Italian, but I can't speak a lick of Spanish. And I don't know if that is still a requirement in high school and
Not a
college.
requirement, but I did take Spanish like 1, 2, and 3.
Oh, so you 1, 2, and 3. So how hard was it to learn?
Yeah, hell.
It was like the sounds like were so hard for me to pick up. Because
And what about reading lips from a different language? That would almost be impossible, right?
Yeah. Like, but
I would
also,
imagine that would be.
But also, a lot of what we were doing was vocabulary and like just writing and stuff. I didn't get to the point where we were speaking yet.
So
Yeah.
you can't really like speak it fluently.
Oh, I don't know anything anymore. That was like, I did it 8th grade, freshman year, sophomore year. I don't remember anything.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, that's pretty much how I am.
That is one thing I do wish. There's two things. I wish I'd learn how to play an instrument and learn how to speak another language.
I could teach you how to play guitar
No,
and the drums.
I don't have the manual dexterity.
No, you probably don't.
No, that's hard. I had a kid in college try to teach me how to play a chord, and I'm like, my fingers won't even do that.
It's
Not let alone like super fast like he was doing it. There's no way.
Yeah, I mean,
So that's
it's again a different side of your brain has to function in order to have any sort of rhythm and music, which is the reason why this blows my mind. Because of your deficiencies, you've overcome.
Can you even call them those?
What deficiencies?
Can you even call it that anymore?
I don't know I mean, since she's lived her whole life in being hearing impaired, I would say she's overcome the deficiencies, but initially they were
Yeah.
deficiencies.
No. I'm just saying at this point, can you call her, say that she has any deficiency?
No, especially not in her craft of dance. Because
Oh
she's
man,
excelled
a
as-
master in the craft.
Yeah.
So what do you have to do as far as training at this point to make sure? Can they cut you at any given time from the dance team?
Once you're on the team, you're on the team for a year, but then you just be try out.
So what do you do?
So you do football, basketball, all of the sports.
Yes,
What kind of time commitment is that?
it's a lot.
Is it a lot?
But growing up, like time commitment, like is the least of my worries. 'Cause growing up as a dancer, especially with the level I was doing it at, I would, like, here's my schedule. My senior year of high school or junior year of high school, this was my schedule. Monday, I would go to school, and then straight after school ends at 3:15, I had to be at the dance studio at 4. Then I'm there till 10 p.m. Go home, sleep, wake up the next morning, school. I have practice, dance team practice from 3:15 to 5:45, and then I would go home and do homework. And then Wednesday, I would go to school, 3:15 to 5, dance team practice, go to the studio, train from 5:30 to 10. Thursday, practice 3:15 to 5:45. Friday, I would have a game. If I didn't have a game, I was practicing. If we didn't have practice, I was practicing at home. Saturday, we had a competition usually, and Sunday we'd have a competition.
Does it?
And then it starts all over.
Does it feel? I mean, obviously, everybody feels the grind of a schedule like that.
Mm-hmm.
But do you love it so much that it's you don't get to that point to where it's like, gosh, I got.
You ever been burnt out? I guess is the
Yeah. Well, I started to get pretty burnt out like when it all started my freshman year, and then I tore my ACL. And then I was like, to be honest, like you do.
That might have been a blessing.
Yeah. And you do so much of something for so long that you kind of lose yourself in it. Like I was like, what am I without dance? And it was so hard for
yeah.
me mentally when I wasn't dancing. And then I was like, I can't believe I was ever burnt out from something like this.
My freshman year in college, I tore my ACL, and then I tore it again my sophomore year in college. And you 100% lose your identity.
Yeah.
When an athlete that gets injured, they 100% lose their identity, and depression is real.
Yes.
With in that situation,
Yeah.
it is real. And then, you know,
And the doubt that carries with the injury, because you always, at least for a certain period of time, just like when if I back, elbow, shoulder, just integrating back into what you do, there's just that mental strain that's like, am I gonna tear it again?
you're just waiting for it.
Just to overcome that is it. I mean, that is it can drive you to anxiety and depression for sure.
Especially during the recovery. But then a big portion of recovery is being able to put exactly what you're talking about in the back part of your brain. Because if you can't, you'll never compete again.
Can you coach that?
The PT is going to have to do it.
Yeah, and that's probably why you gravitated towards being a PT.
And the way you do it is to put them in compromised positions until it's not sensitive to them anymore. You got to desensitize them.
Yeah,
You
you have to build the confidence back up in
so
the extremity in order.
You got to put her in positions where her knee is functioning on its own without the help of her hip, without the help of her ankle, and make the knee function on her own. And then when that's comfortable, now when the hip and ankle help it, no problem.
Yeah.
Now she feels hyper comfortable.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? But if you take the hip and the ankle out of the equation and make the knee function on its own, and then she starts to do fine that way, now she's just automatically, when she does her functional mobility stuff, the hip and the ankle are going to come and kick in, and then she's going to be like, oh, this is fine.
Yeah.
Because I never let her use a brace when we were in therapy.
Really?
Yeah, I'm definitely like, he helped me a lot. And I think that what's also hard about being a dancer is that like we have really strong muscles in like weird spots because we're training like ballet and all of this stuff. Like
Calves, feet.
Yeah. Like my ankles are like really, really strong.
Oh, yeah.
So like,
Yeah.
and it was like, my butt got really weak and like my legs got really weak. And it's like when we turn and it's on one leg. So then when I had to start doing that stuff again, I was like, oh my God, like I can't, it's almost like I had to relearn how to do so much. But I feel like I've just been, it was just like another thing I had to overcome.
And let's talk about, what your dad does. Doc Vince Siraguso is a chiropractor. And let me tell you,
He's like Yoda.
he helped me out so much today.
unbelievable.
I could barely put my socks on my back, was so bad.
Your low back?
Yeah. And I went in there and he did some things and hooks me up to some machines and pops some things. And I mean, I feel 1,000 times better.
Was it just stiff or was it pain?
It was stiff and painful.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so, having that, being a dancer, having your dad be a chiropractor, how has that kept you mindful of, being in alignment, that kind of things? And does your dad work on you?
Yeah. I mean, now I'm pretty much not healed, but I feel healed. But when it was happening, like I would come home and I would do the little exercises that you gave me. And then my dad would just like, I'm so grateful that he was there because he like knows little things to like help it, obviously. But even not even just with my knee and my recovery process, he helped a lot, but also like he would come to my dance competitions and he would like help me stretch before I went out on stage because he knows like little things about
Oh,
the
yeah.
body.
It's
and,
huge.
like, yeah.
Do you still have a pretty solid stretching routine prior to warming up, or
Yeah.
because I mean, some people, you're 18 or 19
18.
at 18 or 19, some people will go out there and be cold and
Still be able to move fine.
still be able to move fine, which is fleeting.
Yeah, that goes away real quick.
It goes away real quick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And especially at your schedule, I know you felt the soreness and you've had some torn muscles. Do you have a pretty solid routine
Yeah.
to warm up?
For sure. You have to stretch. I used to think I could go out there and do whatever. And then did I tear? Yeah. I pulled my hamstring.
Okay.
I pulled muscles in my ribs. That was the worst. And I pulled one other thing. I can't remember. Something in my back. I don't know if you can pull something in your back. I did something in my back. It still hurts all the time. But just like you have to warm up, you have to stretch. That's like a cardinal rule in dance.
Yeah.
Yeah. But also like the hard thing about dance is like I could be dancing for a year straight. And then if I don't dance for 2 days, I come back and I'm like, whoa, where did everything go?
Yeah.
So it was also
Really, it goes away that quick.
yeah, so quick. Like you're stretching, like when you're doing the splits, it's harder after not doing it for a day, because it's like you stretch out the muscle, and then once you stop doing it, it gets tighter again. You
Yeah.
have to like keep stretching it so it stays stretched out.
So you have a stretching routine that you do daily?
Yeah,
Really?
I like remember when I was a kid, and I'd be like watching a cartoon, and I'm just doing it in like the split.
Yeah. Yeah. So you're staying limber.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just part of who you are at this
Yeah.
point. You know?
There's no way you can, compete in that sport. So I have just a couple more questions because I want to know what your day is going to look like as a Golden Girl now. And then is there this is part of one question. Is there a diet that you guys have to follow and stuff like that?
To be honest, we haven't I've only gone down there for 3 days of practices last month, and I'm going down for 3 days this month. So I don't know entirely like what my year is about to look like yet, but I'm assuming we have practice every day.
I bet you they have recommended daily intakes.
Yeah, we have workouts, and like we have workouts with the trainer. I think like every other morning or something like that. I don't know yet, but it's definitely going to be hardcore, and they're starting to compete this year, which means everything that they did before, it's going to be ×2.
So you have a trainer out there too. They have like, I wonder if it's, I wonder if they have trainers for every sport.
We have a trainer specifically for us.
Do you really?
Yeah.
I guarantee you guys have a dietitian. I would bet any amount of money they're going to have a diet that they're going to want you to follow.
I have no idea, but bless my heart, because
You like eating whatever, don't you? No,
Yeah.
I'm the same way. You don't have to, here, you know what I used to do? When I was in grade school, I used to, you have to cut weight. If you were going to be a running back, you'd have to be under a certain amount of weight in order to carry the ball. And so I would make weight, and then I would go spend the night over your grandpa's house. and Carol Jo, your mom, she would bring me Oreos, and I would just pound food for the whole entire weekend. Carol Jo would bring me this, she'd bring me that. I mean, it was great. It was the greatest. So I mean, here the Termini's eating habits,
late night eating,
it's well here. And Uncle Jimmy was always coming home late because he was at the store,
and it was time to eat.
and then it was time to eat.
Yep.
And then it was time to eat. So it'd be 1:32 in the morning, and I'd be like, "Hell yeah, let's do it! Let's do it!" Well, here Dad used to do it too.
Oh yeah.
Dad would come home from Cascones and wake me up out of a dead sleep and make me go eat with him.
Yeah.
It's his fault.
That's
all
right.
his
I've been like trained to have 2 dinners, because I'd always eat before I go to dance and eat when I come back.
Right.
So like when I stop dancing, it's like, why are you eating 8 meals? But it's like
You're just used to doing it.
you're burning so many calories.
Yeah.
Yeah, and your metabolism is probably ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yep.
It is probably absolutely ridiculous. Oh my gosh. So, okay, last question. Tell me how do you see yourself? Are you going to try to put yourself in position to educate, motivate, and I guess just be a role model to kids who are in this exact same situation right now? Because I have a feeling here, I know for a fact that there was this hopeless feeling for a while. I mean, and I know your mom drove herself crazy for the longest time, because she's a control freak and she wanted to control everything. And here, you owe a lot to your mom and your dad.
100%.
Because of how diligent they were. But is there something that you see yourself doing in the future to share the story, tell people, hey, you can overcome this, that type of thing as you move through Mizzou, you graduate, that type of thing?
So I feel like, just to start off, I feel like there's like a certain stigma around anybody with a disability that like they can't do. I mean, obviously there's some things that like I can't do. Like I can't like there's a lot of things, but I think that there's there's when you hear me being a deaf girl and I'm like, I want to dance, then you immediately start questioning it.
I would have. I would have tried. I would have, honestly, I would have never even exposed you to it.
Yeah.
Because I would have said, no way she can do it.
Yeah. And I want to make it so that that's not.
That thought process right there. Nobody has it.
Yeah. And so obviously, like, I hope to inspire a lot of people, but in this like day and time, to get I just need, my first goal is to get the platform so that people know who I am. Then I'm going to start. Yeah. So I want to go into journalism and I want to be a news broadcaster.
So you want to be on camera?
Yeah.
Okay.
Which is crazy because I grew up being on camera and I didn't like it very much.
Well, the camera loves you.
Thank
Man,
She's easy on the camera.
You're
She's easy on the camera,
young
for sure.
lady.
She comes from good stock. Hold on. You ever seen Carlo?
Yeah, he looks great.
Man,
Yeah.
is he good looking.
Yeah.
God darn, ladies. Go
Yeah.
look up Carlos Siraguso.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Yes.
Go on.
But
So you want to be going to newscasting? That's where we left off. Okay.
yeah. Well, I got into yearbook in high school and I just love writing and I love like learning about things, about people. I love sitting there and just like, my dad tells me all the time, you should start a podcast and just talk to people because that's like my favorite thing to do.
You can use this whenever you want.
Yeah.
I swear to God, you can use it whenever you want.
If you like,
he has to set it up because I don't know how to do anything except talking to this thing.
I'm happy to do it for you.
Yeah, you can use this whenever you want.
yeah, I love to talk. I love to learn about people and things. And I just want to, I don't know if maybe I won't end up doing news broadcasting, but I want to do something in journalism and I want to just like teach people about things. I don't know. That's just what I want to do. And, but once I get a platform, because you see someone on camera and then immediately someone's like, who's that?
Yeah.
And then people will start to follow me and then I can like share my story and hopefully inspire someone out there to put their kid in what they want to do and see if they can do it, or someone who's just like me and be like, oh, she did it, I can do it too.
Yeah.
And really like, yes, like I've been so fortunate like that my parents could afford to get me hearing aids and that my parents are the way that they are. And like, there's so many things that they've done for me. And there's so many things that like have helped me get to this point. But
well, maybe something else we can do is, because you made a comment about you were lucky about, from a socioeconomic standpoint,
Yeah.
Carol, Joe, and Vince were able to offer her some things.
Yeah.
Some kids.
Yeah.
Maybe we set up like a 501c3.
so me and my mom started this nonprofit organization called evolvetoday.org.
What is it called?
Evolvetoday.org. But
Evolve Today.
yes, but it's not up right now. But we did it for like a couple years and then we had to shut down because my mom got sick and then I just got too busy. But I'm going to start it back up soon. And it's basically just a nonprofit organization to help raise money for families who couldn't buy hearing aids for their kids or buy a cochlear implant.
Or maybe give speech therapy.
Speech therapy, anything.
Yeah.
Anything. And I want to definitely get back into that as soon as possible. But, life gets busy and it just...
Here, listen, being philanthropy is hard.
Yeah.
It is hard.
Yeah.
I mean, we have the Andrew Ross Termini Foundation. We have Nina's Wings. We do an event once a year and it's hard.
Yeah.
It really is. But it is definitely worth it. And you will be able to help tons of people.
Yeah.
But no, I think that's a fantastic idea.
Yeah.
And then, here, you could use the platform as a Golden Girl now, Giuliana.
Yeah, I know. And there was a girl that was on the Tennessee dance team and she's deaf and she got a, what's it called? NIL deal.
Oh yeah, shit.
Yeah.
And and here, them kids on them NIL deals make a lot of money.
Yes, they do.
You already have an agent?
I mean, I did. I don't know about now because that was so long.
God, I got to think you could talk to someone way smarter than you and I are about that.
100%.
Yeah.
But I mean, there has to be an avenue to where you could potentially do that.
Yeah, for sure.
There has to be. Well,
Hopefully this is a good launch and introduction into what you want to do.
Mm-hmm.
And I know people are going to support and be cheering for you.
for sure. Yeah. How can you not? What a story.
Yeah.
Absolutely. We wish you the best of luck. I know you're going to do great. Just listening to you talk, I don't think you know how to fail.
Yeah.
I mean, when you have that type of an attitude that, she's going to win or she's just going to win.
She's going to win. The mentality's there.
It's just there.
You can tell.
It's just there. So I don't even know that I need to wish you luck. Just keep doing what you're doing and it's going to happen.
Yeah.
So, All right. Well, I'm excited to watch this unfold. If you need anything from us, this is here. You can use it.
Yep.
Anything for the 501c3, Andrew's going to donate.
Yep. Yes, I am.
All right. Thank you, Juliana. I
Thank you
appreciate
very
you
much for
coming
being
on.
All right.